Hello there. My name is Vincent Awino. I'm part of the Ambulensi developer team. I'm going to walk you through a short tutorial on how to use Ambulensi to manage emergency response services at your dispatch center. So let's get right to it. First, from the website, there are two options. There's a login option and the get started option. Now, if you're a first-time user, then you'll need to register a new account. If you are not a new user, then you can go straight ahead and log in using the login button, and that will take you to the login page. Then you can proceed and put in your email address and password, and you're good to go. So I'm going to make the assumption that we're working with the new time users. So in that case, you'll need to use the get started button, and that will take you to a page that allows you to create an account. Now you'll need to enter your details as a contact person. You'll also be required to enter the details of your organization. Organization means the entity for which you're registering this account. Could be your own organization or any other entity that you're registering this account for, so that they can use it to manage their emergency response services at their dispatch centers. Now, I'm quickly going to use just my details here, and I'll pick an email. You need to put in your phone number. For now, I'll just use mine. Designation is your position at your organization. Password, you need to ensure it's complex enough, but you can remember. So make sure that this is a capital letter, small letter, a number, alphanumeric, but that you can remember. At least 8 characters. So put that, and that's it. Then you go to next, and this is where you need to include your organization info. So the name of your organization, for now I'll just say test organization. Type of organization, say whether it's government, county government, it's private, it's an institution. So I'll go with NGO for now. County is not compulsory, but it's important. So you can, for now I'll say Nairobi. Then the physical address, I'll say Parklands, Westlands. That's it. Submit. And it's as easy as that. I've created a new account. Now, the next thing you need to do is now log in with the email you just created, you just registered with. Ambulensi.org and the password. That's it, and it's as easy as that. I've created a new account on Ambulensi. Now, note that we registered a new organization. We called it test organization. On the right side is a menu, and I'm going to walk you through each item on this menu. So let's start with organization. We created an organization, and if you remember, we called it test organization. I can click here to view the details of the organization that I created or that I registered for this account. So these are the details. I'm yet to include any departments, and the users, I'm currently the only user in this organization, and other details as pertains to this organization. Cases, I'm yet to start receiving incidents or cases for this particular organization. If you need to edit any info here, you click on edit here, which takes you to the edit page for the organization, or from the list view, you can come to the actions and click edit. Takes you to the same page. You can update, for example, the logo, the email, for example, you can say info@testorg.com, phone number, and any other info that you deem necessary. Save changes, and those are picked up. Contact person details in case you need to update your contact info. You can update your address info there, any social media links to that for this organization rather. So I'm going to go back to the list of organizations. So this is the only organization that I've registered for this account. Now, if I go under profile, next menu item, I can update my user profile here. So for example, I can update my details here. If I need, for example, to upload a profile picture, allow me to put this just for now. That's my profile picture, save changes. If I need to change and update my password, I can do it there. Under this, I can put my old password there, new password, and any other extra information I can include here under this interface. Now, what I need to show you right now is a basic setup that I want to do. So I'll go back to the menu here. If I go to the dashboard, my dashboard is empty currently because I'm yet to include any data in this account. Now, the first thing you need to do in order to use Ambulensi is to do a basic setup. Basic setup means registering the ambulances, your ambulances, registering them on Ambulensi so that that information is captured on Ambulensi based on where your ambulances are. Now, I'm going to show you how you register an ambulance. So you'll go to the menu item ambulance. Once you're there, I'm going to add an ambulance by clicking on this button. There you are. You have to specify where the ambulance you want to register. For now, I'll just register one ambulance for the sake of this demo. You have to specify whether it's a basic, life support, or advanced. So I'm going to say basic for now. Phone number, allow me to use this. So the registration number of the vehicle. So this is a number plate. I'm just going to do it random for now. Something like that. Then you need to enter your crew info. So who is in the ambulance? So the doctor or the nurse, the paramedic, the driver. So let me register my first crew member. His phone number. Let's say this is a driver. Save. Let's say there's a doctor here and it's called Dr. Stan. And his phone number, say, is something like that. And then is a doctor. Click save. So it auto-populates the crew members as you add them. You can add as many as there are in that ambulance. The next thing is to include the ownership of this ambulance. So indicate whether this is private, public, NGO, mission, for for example, churches, etc. So my organization is an NGO, and then the owner of that ambulance, I'll say test organization. Equipment available in that ambulance for now. Allow me to pick all this equipment here, but this is important so that you know, based on the equipment in any ambulance, you know which ambulance is best suited to deal with certain incidences. Next, now this is a map view. This map view shows you your ambulance location. Now, this enables you to register the initial location of the ambulance, the location where the ambulance is mostly based. Now, note that this will change. The system will update it in real time in future. So this is just an initial location that we are including. There are three ways to do this. You can drag and drop the ambulance to its location. So this is Nairobi. Let me zoom in. So say my ambulance is mostly based at Nairobi Women's. I can drag and drop it around, I think it's a Hurlingham area, where Nairobi Women's is, or I can click at where Nairobi Women's is and note that my ambulance will jump there as my initial location, and also note that my lat long is being updated here in real time, my location data. Now the simplest way is just to use the search bar and type, say, Nairobi Women's Hospital. Click there and notice my ambulance just keeps to where that particular hospital is, and if you zoom in, you'll just see this is Nairobi Women's Hospital in Hurlingham. My location data is updated, and also note that my county is picked automatically. Then I'm going to click submit, and that ambulance is registered. I've created my first ambulance on Ambulensi. Now, the next thing to do is you want to monitor the real-time location of your ambulance. In order to achieve this, at Ambulensi, we give you GPS devices. They're very simple devices that you mount on your ambulance. With that device, you'll be able to track the real-time location of your ambulance. I'll make the assumption on this demo that you already have the device. What you need to do is you need to register that device on Ambulensi, and then you need to associate that device with your ambulance. So I'll show you how to do that. Navigate to the menu under devices, and then you'll click add device. The information you need to give are this. You need to give the device a name, unique ID, we call it the email. Mostly it's written behind the device, and then a group. What a group means is, for example, you might want to group your devices based on the jurisdictions where your ambulance operates. So for example, if I have my ambulance operating in 3 different counties in Kenya, Nakuru, Kisumu, Nairobi, I'll want to group my devices based on the jurisdiction. So when I'm registering a device, I'll make sure to indicate that this device belongs, say, to group Nakuru for the devices in Nakuru. So it's not a must, but it's important that you group your devices so that you can easily manage them. SIM number is optional, but mostly the devices that we give you come with a SIM card. That's how we're able to communicate the location of your ambulance back to the dispatch center. The model number is mostly written also on the device. It's not compulsory, but it's important to just note it on the device, rather on the application, so that you're able to know the model of the device, assuming you have different models, or you're provided with different models of these devices. Now allow me first to create a group, and assume that I have a group. I want only to have devices for jurisdiction Nairobi. So I'm going to create a group. You come navigate to group and then click add, and I'm going to say this Nairobi devices. Then I'm going to select a county. It's not compulsory, but it's important. This up for Nairobi County, and then I click submit, and that group is created. There you go. Now I'll come back to devices, and now I'll register a new device. Click add device. Now we recommend that you give your device the same name as the number plate of your ambulance. This way you're easily able to relate which device is associated with which ambulance. So I'll name this KBC 3843. Email number, as I said, is written behind the device. It's usually a 9-digit code, or can be 12. I'll just pick random numbers from now. So the group, I already created one. This device belongs to group Nairobi. SIM, the model number also is written on the device. So I'll say this is GT06, and I create that, and that's a success. So I've created my first device. Now the next thing you need to do is now you need to associate that device with this ambulance. So you come here and click assign from here. That's a shortcut you can use, or you click on the ambulance, click on edit, and then come to select device and select the device. So this is KBC384D, that, and that's associated now with the ambulance. Click OK, and that's it, and then submit, and I've assigned that device to this ambulance. Now if I go back to my table of ambulance, you'll see now that my ambulance has been assigned. Now I'll explain what this info here means. Now this is my ambulance, it's a registration number, it's a basic life support, the phone number for that ambulance. Let me explain about the status. This is important. Now an ambulance can have 3 status. An ambulance can either be operational, non-operational, or engaged. Operational means that your ambulance is ready to go. If there's an emergency, it's ready, you can send it to attend to that emergency or incident. Non-operational means that the ambulance is grounded for whatever reason. Could be a mechanical damage, or could be maybe an issue to do with fuel, and that ambulance cannot move. So in that case, you cannot dispatch it to attend to an emergency or an incident. Engaged means the ambulance is actively responding to an emergency, meaning you cannot assign a new incident to it or dispatch it to any other incident because it's on the move, it's attending to an incident or an emergency. The online status of an ambulance can be 3. Either it's online, offline, or unknown. Online means that we are able to track its real-time location, meaning the device that we mounted on it is sending location data of that ambulance and we're able to capture it on this application. Offline means the opposite. The device is not sending any location data, meaning the ambulance is offline, we don't know its real-time location. Unknown means could be a technical glitch that needs to be fixed so that we're able to know why that location is not being transmitted from the ambulance. So this is the crew, and then ownership, it's by the NGO that I registered, my organization. The device is assigned. The group name, remember I grouped my devices, so this is from Group Nairobi Devices. I can edit information of this ambulance. In case I need to edit any information, I can click here, then go to edit, and this will take me to the edit page, and I can edit that information. Or still under the ambulance list, I can come to actions and then edit, and then this enables me to edit any ambulance information. For example, if I want to change now this as upscaled to advanced life support, I can change that, then save, submit. That's it. If my crew changes, for example, the driver has changed, I can edit. Say the driver right now is Victor Ching, and the phone number says that has changed, submit, and that's reflected there as Victor Ching now as the new driver. Submit, and that's updated. If I need to change this to non-operational, I can do as well that. Any information here you can change. Now I've just registered my first ambulance. The next thing I'd like to show you is how to register a health facility. Now a lot of the health facilities are already on Google Maps, but if there are specific health facilities that you are working with, then you need to add them on the application. So add the health facility, click on add health facility. Let's say this is Kenyatta Hospital. The phone number, I will just work with that for now. This is usually around the Hallinan area. Then you need to give it the right classification. Kenyatta would possibly be level 6. You have to state whether it's public, private, mission, or NGO. Say public. If the ambulance is associated with this hospital, then you can add them here and select. For now, I'll leave them empty because there are no ambulances that registered that are associated with that hospital. Next, Here on the map view, you need to give the location. Again, as I explained earlier, you can drag and drop this to the location of that particular hospital. You can click and it moves to that particular location. The easiest way is just to use this search bar and search for the hospital here. Kenyatta National Hospital, here it is, and my hospital just keeps to where that particular hospital is, and you can see this is Kenyatta. The location data is updated in real time. Also note that it automatically picks the name of the county, constituency, and ward where this hospital is located. With that information, I click submit, and that saves my health facility. That's the basic setup for Ambulensi. Now let's go to how you record incidents and attend to incidents. In order to do that, you go to this menu item called dispatch. Now, in order to record an incident, dispatch centers will receive a call from a victim who needs an ambulance, for example. And the first thing to do is you'd want to generate, I'm just zooming in a bit so that we have a better view of the map. Let's say there's a victim calling from Kenya High. There's an incident that has happened at Kenya High. One of the students has an emergency and you need to send out an ambulance. First things first, you need to search for where that is very quickly using the search bar there. You can even go to Kileleshwa if you know it's around that area. That takes you there, enables you to pan around that area where the victim is calling at. But if it's a specific location like Kenya High, I might as well just type here Kenya High. There it is. Click on it, brings it to the center of the map here. Let me zoom in a bit. This is where the incident is. Alright. Next thing I need to do is pin that location by clicking on the map. So I click on the map and automatically note what happens. It gives me my nearest ambulance and it gives me the nearest health facility and the best or the most optimal route to follow in order to attend to that incident. So I will quickly fill in the details of this incident. These are information that I gather from the caller. So for now, I'll say the victim is called John Doe. That I clicked on this button here, create incident. So John Doe, the phone number with which they're calling. Age is not a must but important. So I'll say their age between 36 and 60. Gender is not compulsory but it's important. So I'll say this is male. State whether they have any pre-existing condition. It's not a compulsory field, but it is an important information. So class, you have to state whether it's a rescue or a referral. So let's say it's a rescue. Category, is it fire, medical, or rescue, trauma? I'll select a medical emergency. And we've included quite a number of the types of emergency, the most common medical emergencies there. And let's say it's breathing problems, say students, a brief description, student is asthmatic and is not breathing properly. Select the priority, so the level of threat is level 1, 2 up to 6. So with level 1 being the highest immediate threat to life, so let's choose level 6, this being an emergency. Note that the health facility was automatically picked for me based on where I placed my pin on the map. So the system just picks that for me, tells me the nearest health facility to do is that. It also gives me my nearest ambulance at that location. Already populates is that ambulance that needs to go. Already automatically pre-populates the location data. Then this is not compulsory, but you can include the location description, say maybe around Arboretum. And then note that the county, constituency, and the ward was automatically picked for me based on where I placed my pin. Then I click submit. Now, how does the driver in the ambulance receive this incident? One, I can call and share with them the details of the incident, including the location. Number two, at Ambulensi, we provide you with an application that you can run on a tablet that then you mount on your ambulance. So the moment I clicked create and submit, that incident appears on the tablet for the ambulance that has been assigned to this incident. The driver of that ambulance can then navigate using that information to the location of the incident. They are fed with the information about the victim, all those details that we filled in order to be able, for example, to administer first aid if they need to, based on the information shared with them. They're also able to use the tablet to navigate to that incident using the most optimal routes, avoiding traffic and being able to get there in time. Now, it's important to note that my ambulance changed color from red to blue. Now, on my menu here, an ambulance, like I said earlier, can either be operational, engaged, or non-operational. My ambulance here is blue because it's engaged. Realize it disappears when I turn that on and off because I don't have any other operational ambulance because I just registered one ambulance. So meaning if I were, for example, to have an incident here and click on the map there, it will give me a warning that I do not have any available ambulances. Rather, I don't have any operational ambulance at the moment. What I have is engaged. So I clear the map. I currently don't have any non-operational ambulance. I just registered one. Now, I need to show you how to attend to an incident. Now, this is better done in the block view. Note here on the menu, we have the map view, the block view, and the list view. So where I am at the moment is the map view. If I go to the block view, you can see the incident that I created earlier under the column dispatched. Now, an incident can either be received, on dispatch, on hold, or resolved. Received means I just recorded that incident on Ambulensi. There was no available ambulance. Therefore, I've not dispatched any ambulance. It's just recorded on the system. Dispatched means I've actually dispatched an ambulance to attend to that incident. The ambulance is engaged. It's actively attending to that incident. So the incident moves from received to dispatched. On hold means if for whatever reason still not able to dispatch an ambulance to that incident, I can put that incident on status on hold. Resolved means that I have received word from the ambulance crew on the resolution of that incident. Possibly the victim has been taken to a hospital or has been attended to, and that issue is closed. In that case, then I move this incident to resolved. Now, an incident again moves through these stages, and in order to change an incident from one status to another, you just need to click, drag, drop, like that. I've put it on hold, and I get a message there that the incident has been put on hold. Alright, now I'll show you the map view, rather the list view, shows you your incidents in a chronological order. All your incidents that you've created, all the call requests for an ambulance that you have received. Now let's go back to the block view. Again, you can change the status of an incident not only by click, drag and drop. You can also change the state of an incident using this button here. Say I want to take it back to received. I can click that and it just moves to received. Now, how do you view the details of an incident? You can view the details of an incident from any of these views, from the map view or from the block view or from the list view. Now, from the map view, I can navigate to where my incident is, here. Then I can click on the incident and it shows me all these details about the incident, and I can click view. Also, note that the pin color is red. Now the pin of the incident changes color based on the stage of resolution. So again, there are 4 stages. Received, an incident can either be received, on dispatch, on hold, or resolved. Now, if you look at the map, when the incident is under status received as it is right now, remember I changed it, and note that the color is red. Now, if I move it to dispatched, the color will change to blue. If I move it to on hold, the color changes to orange. If I move it to resolved, the color will change to green. Also note that when I moved this incident back to received, this ambulance became operational. It changed from engaged back to operational because I've not dispatched it to this incident. Since you remember, I moved this incident, it was on dispatch, but I moved it back to received, meaning there's no ambulance attending to it, meaning it releases my ambulance to be operational once again, and therefore it shows there in red. It's operational, and I can send any other incident to this ambulance. Now, for the sake of this demo, I'll show you how you view this incident and how you can assign it this ambulance again or dispatch this ambulance to it again. Now, this incident, you can view it from different areas. You can view it here, click view, and it will take you to the view of that incident, or I can view it under block view by coming and clicking on the incident here under view there, or I can view it from the list view and I can click on the name here, or still on the list view. If I go back there, list view, I can come to the action menu here and click view to view the incident. This view page gives me more details as concerns the incident. For example, the location of the incident. This is a Kenya High. The incident details, the victim's information, the age, gender, all this information that we filled, the pre-existing condition. For example, the incident details, all issues that were captured as pertains to that incident. This is a rescue, it's a medical issue, the description, the location of that incident. So the description, it was around Arboretum, it's in the county, Nairobi, constituency that, what that, and the lat long, and you can even view it on Google Maps. Now, another important thing to note, every action that is taken on an incident is captured under the incident resolution workflow. Now, the moment I moved the incident to on hold, then it changed, it captured the date and it captured the time that I performed that action. Every action that is performed throughout the life cycle of the resolution of the incident is captured under incident resolution. We capture the date and the time at which that action was performed. So we know that this incident was put on hold at that date and time, it was received at that date and time, etc. Again, it's important to note that at any particular time in the life cycle of the incident resolution, the victim is notified all the time via SMS on the stage of the resolution of the incident. For example, if I change this incident to dispatched, the victim will receive an SMS indicating that an ambulance has been dispatched and is en route to their location. So this is about the incident resolution workflow. This gives you the information of the health facility that incident was assigned. Note, under this page, the incident detail page, I can still change the status of the incident in this stage. So, rather in this page. So let's say, for example, now we want to dispatch an ambulance to this incident. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this incident from received, the status from received to dispatched. What it will do, it will search for the nearest ambulance and dispatch it to that incident. So let's see how that works. I click on dispatched, there it is. So it picks my nearest ambulance and it dispatches it to that incident. And the status here has been picked as dispatched, status there has changed and it's en route. Remember, I told you the pin changes to blue when an ambulance has been dispatched. Alright. Now, if you want to resolve an incident, say for example we've received confirmation from the ground or from the ambulance crew that this incident has been resolved. They have been taken to the hospital, for example. Now I need to resolve this incident. So to resolve this incident, I'll click on this and say resolved. That is resolved. So now note that this line is straight just because we've only captured 2 points, the start and the destination. Now in a real life scenario, this line will draw now the actual route that the ambulance took when it was attending to this incident, and shows the actual route for that incident. Now this is resolved. Now everything turns nicely to green. It's now resolved. Now it's important to note that you can proceed and generate a report. There it is, very nicely done for you there. So it gives the incident report, it gives you a nice title, gives you the map view, the route that the ambulance took in attending that incident, the incident information, the details of that incident, the incident resolution, the actions that were taken on that incident, the ambulance that was assigned for that incident, the health facility that was assigned. We recommend that for a better print layout that you go to more settings and then turn this option on, background graphics, and it will now gives you a very nicely printed out, nicely designed report with good graphics that you can then print out or convert to PDF. So that is the incident resolution workflow. So again, a recap. If I go back to dispatch, this is where I receive or create or log my incidents by clicking create, and then I log in incidences and they appear on the map. Once they appear on the map, the application will automatically dispatch them to the nearest ambulance. So that will be done for you by the application. Assuming there is no available ambulance, your incidents will be put under received. So like I mentioned earlier, an incident can have the status received, dispatched, on hold, or resolved. So that's the entire workflow that it needs to go through. You might as well, if there's nothing putting an incident on hold and it's on dispatch, you can as well just pick it, drag and drop to resolve in order to resolve that particular incident. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you how to create users, other users that can use the Ambulensi web application. You can create them using this menu. So you click add user and then you can create other users. Now let me show you the fields that are compulsory here. Now the names are compulsory, the phone number, the email, and then you give them an initial password. They'll receive this on their email and then they can proceed and log in, and they can go to their profiles and change or update their passwords. You can assign them a role. I'll show you how you can create roles. Assuming you have created departments for your organization, you can assign them a department and include an optional designation and an optional profile picture. Now this, under permissions, this is important. You can assign them specific permissions. Permissions allow them to only access certain components of the application. So, for example, if I'm creating someone to only manage incidences, dispatch ambulances, I can choose to give them just permission to view, edit, and create incidences. And that's it, and I save, and that's that. Now, an easier way to create users and assign them the right permissions is to go ahead and create roles. I can create a role and say, I want to create a role, say dispatcher. And I want this role, I want anyone who has this role to be responsible for managing incidents, right? And I'll give them these 3 permissions, right? View, edit, and create incidents, right? And then I don't want them to have any other permission to do anything else. I want them to focus on dispatching ambulances and managing incidents. Then I can click save, and that creates that role for me. It appears nicely in this list here under dispatcher. If I need to edit, I can edit that role there. Alright, now next time I'm creating users, I go to users and I can fill in the details of the user. Once I fill in the details of the user, I can go ahead and now select a role. And notice immediately when I select the role, it fills the necessary permissions associated with that role. Click save, submit, and that user is created. They receive an email with their login credentials and they're able to log in as part of the users, and they will appear in this list. Another way to add specifically add users to your organization is you go to organizations. There's only one organization right now that I registered, which is my organization, test organization. Go under the table of users and click add user. Gives you the same interface, and you can add user, assign the role that you created there, and you can create a user there. Let me go back to the organization again. Another thing you can do, for example, if at any one point you want to add departments, you just click add departments, say dispatch, for example, give it a description, submit, and that creates your departments for which you can assign users. For example, if now this particular user is a dispatcher, department dispatch, then I can assign them that department. Come here, say dispatch, save, and that saves those changes. If I go back to my organization, I look at the user, then now the department is dispatch. So that's how you can edit the information, create users, create roles within your organization. Now, the other important thing I need to show you is logs. Every action that is performed on Ambulensi is logged. You're able to see whoever is logging in, logging out, what they are doing in the application, and you're able to monitor that. We've broken them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. The time and date that action was performed, the action that was performed, the description of that action, who performed that action, and their organization. So for example, the moment I logged in into Ambulensi, already it picked that I logged in at that particular date and time. I created an ambulance, it logs in, the action was ambulance created with that number plate. I'm the one who did that. I created a group called Nairobi Devices. I assigned a device to an ambulance. I edited an ambulance. It captures what information I edited on that ambulance. So it's that specific. So for example, if I go back to page 1, I updated a user. What information did I update? I changed the department from general to dispatch. So this is important so that you can keep track of every single action that is being performed on Ambulensi for the sake of accountability. Finally, I'd like to show you the dashboard. Now the dashboard is where you have a graphical view of your data. So for example, I have only one incident sent so far, so there's not much to show here, but as your data keeps streaming in, the dashboard updates in real time. So it will show you how many incidents you have and are received in dispatch or resolved, how many total to date. This one is a real-time line graph per month of your incidents. So this month, for example, there's only one incident. If I keep adding, this will keep on populating, and you're able to monitor based monthly your stream of incidences that you're having. Incidences classified by class. Remember, class refers to either an incident is a referral or a rescue. By category, either it's medical, fire, trauma. You can categorize your incidents based on age groups, so that you know which age groups you're getting more incidents from. 36 to 60 years old, for example, there's only one incident there. Number of incidents per month, this will populate as data streams in. The ambulance data, which ones are engaged, operational and operationals, which ones are offline, etc. So importantly, the dashboard will keep on updating data as they come. You can download some of these graphs, you can include them in your reports, and you can share them with other people, and this gives you information to make better decisions based on data that is analyzed at this stage or generated at this stage. So allow me to leave it at that point. This has been just a brief overview of Ambulensi. Kindly note that you can reach us on our emails available on our website. You can also call us using the phone numbers available on ambulensi.org.